Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with the Critters. My name's Laura Joseph, owner of the Animal Behavior Center. We're an international educational center where we teach people across the world. We teach them and we empower animals and the people who care for them. We do that through our live streaming services, which you can find on our website at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. You can also get in touch with me via email, which I answer every single email. It takes me some time, but I choose to keep it personal. You can reach me at Laura, L-A-R-A, at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. So welcome to another episode of Coffee with the Critters, where we go live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, unless I'm traveling, and my travel schedule is getting ready to start as of Tuesday. And doesn't end until December of 2020. So yeah, welcome back. Hey, good morning, everybody. Carol, Adrian, Eva, Carl, Julie, Shelley, Pam, Judith, Susie, Tim, Therese. Yay, good morning. It's been a couple weeks since we've had a Coffee with the Critters because last week we had our annual 2-day all species animal training and behavior workshop here at the Animal Behavior Center located in Northwest Ohio. And it was phenomenal. Each year I say I'm not going to do those anymore because so much work goes into it. And the reinforcer behind why I continue to do it is the feedback I hear once it's over. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a couple of things I want to talk about before we bring the co-founders of C4AW, LouAnne and Dr. Jason Crean, on. Several of our followers are familiar with them, and if not, you're getting ready to get familiar with them. So pay attention to our events page on our Facebook page. That's where I post all our upcoming Coffee with the Critters topics. We have a filled schedule for the rest of the year. And some exciting people that I'll be bringing on and discussing topics with. I also post here where I'm going to be speaking, my speaking schedule. And make sure you join our email newsletter list. We have another email newsletter getting ready to go out. And we get a lot of great feedback from that. We have our new website launched. It's been launched since September 14th. I remember because that was the day my zoo workshop started. And we're getting a lot of great feedback from there. I can tell people are navigating the website because people are signing up for a lot of our services, including one, which I never publicize, called A Day with the Trainer, where you can join us here in Northwest Ohio, sitting side by side with me, focusing on training and behavior approaches for your individual household or your organization. We have a couple of organizations getting ready to come up here for A Day with the Trainer, including Best Friends, and another one is Metro Parks, not too far from here. It'll be our second Metro Parks that have been here for guided training. So as you guys may know or may not, if you follow our work on the Animal Behavior Center's Facebook page, you know that Dill and Pickles, the lemurs, are here. One of Dr. Jason Crean's favorite animals. And I love lemurs. They move so fast. And we, in our last weekend's workshop, several people worked with them. And I said, I always like training species outside of what I'm comfortable or normal with because it makes me fine tune my application and approaches, really helps me understand being able to identify aversives, using training to understand behavior, what this means. The reason I train is to empower animals and because it's the best form of communication I have found using positive reinforcement and applied behavior analysis. And last week I told people before they walk in that enclosure, you better have an understanding of what you're going to ask, how you're going to deliver reinforcers, the use of the delivery of those reinforcers, because these guys are moving so fast, they're off and on to 3 behaviors ahead of what you're still trying to comprehend what just happened. So pay attention to our Facebook page, Dill and Pickles, and all the awesome other things we have happening. Tuesday, I will be presenting to Ohio State University to their veterinary students, and very excited to do so again. Anything else coming up? I'm sure there is, but let's move on and get started and bring in the co-founders of C4AW, standing for Collaboration for Avian Wellness, LouAnne and Dr. Jason Crean. I'm notifying them right now because we have a C4AW event coming out in a couple of weeks. Right, guys?
Yep.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So you, several people may know Dr. Jason Crean. You've seen him here in Coffee with the Critters, my live streams within the Parrot Project. And LouAnne, your name's going to show up under your Facebook page.
Okay.
This is LouAnne. Many of you may know her from Instagram. She has a huge following over on Instagram called Parrots Are Us. Correct, LouAnne?
Yes.
Yeah. So you are the co-founders of C4AW, Collaboration for Avian Wellness. Do you mind telling us how this came about?
Sure. Well, it all started, less than a year ago, believe it or not. It feels like so much longer because together as a team, we've achieved so much. But it started with, honestly, I've been following Jason Crean for a good 4 or 5 years. And he quickly became more or less a mentor, whether he realized that or not at the time, especially when it comes to avian nutrition, because there's no one else on this earth that, in my opinion, that knows more about that. Anyway, so I started to connect with him on social media, specifically on Instagram. I kept pulling him over to Instagram, even though he was resisting it. Right, Jason?
Little.
Just a little. So, and it just came down to one day, I wanted he's been so good. Prince has been stationing. Good. Station? Good. He wants a treat. So anyway, so it came down to, one day I just asked Jason if he was just opening the door, if he was ever interested in collaborating on something, that I was interested in doing so. And that's how the conversation started. And then, we got this started because we were both a little bit frustrated with the amount of misinformation out there in the universe about, sharing your life with birds.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. So it started. Sorry, he's going to have his breakfast now. But it all started really under the premise of educating about avian nutrition. That's how it started. I do have a large audience on Instagram. It was nothing I ever really planned to do, but it's my life work in a way. I really just wanted to share what life is like, sharing life with birds. And I wanted to be a good role model in doing so. So avian nutrition really became a forefront for me. So our collaborative really started with that. So Jason and I committed to each other and our avian community that we would do regular live streams to talk about nutrition. That's how it all started. And then it has very quickly evolved to where it is today. And I'm sure and trust it's going to continue to evolve. And Jason maybe wants to fill in some blanks on that.
Well, and we had started talking about nutrition, but how do I put this? It was not enough. We had to tie in looking at birds holistically, not just from the nutrition standpoint, which does, present the best foundation for a healthy bird, but to grow that into enrichment and, just overall health. I've been friends with Dr. Karen Becker forever, and we know that the information she gives is very sound. So we wanted to include that type of thing in what we do. And I had my undergraduate zoology students who Laura Joseph has, met several times training them in training. And I had them at the zoo, and they were listening to the animal welfare specialist talk about the huge lengths they go to provide just an unbelievably healthy life for their animals. And he had the 4 tenets up there, for animal welfare, and they were nutrition and enrichment and health and, behavior. And all those things, I took a picture of his PowerPoint slide and I sent it to LouAnne. I said, this is what we talked about yesterday. So that's where it just blew up. And we started bringing in the small businesses that we felt had the highest quality products that we wanted to share with people. And we wanted to keep these people in business because they had so much to offer birds. And it just continued to grow from there and has continued to be an amazingly positive collaboration with everybody.
So the collaboration involves several different individuals, organizations from all different aspects of avian wellness, from nutrition, enrichment, training, behavior. We even have because I'm part of it. Conservation, the rescue side. Am I missing anything?
You covered it.
Okay.
Great job. Yes.
Thanks. Because you know, it was when you, Jason, I think you're the one that approached me with this several years ago, and I'm talking probably 12 years ago. I was getting frustrated because the information out there in avian wellness is so far behind dogs, the canine community, a lot of different companion animal communities, definitely in the zoo community. And I was just like, why? I was frustrated about it because I saw there was such a need for more that I actually almost collaborated with somebody and started a magazine called The Modern Bird. I still have the website name reserved, but I ended up looking more into it and got in touch with some writers and some people, some publishers, and they said, "Are you interested in the field of publishing?" And I said, "Not at all." And they said, "Then don't open a magazine." So instead, I opened the Animal Behavior Center and the Parrot Project. That's when, Jason, I heard about you right about the time I was thinking about opening the magazine. I saw a article from you on mouse birds, and I remember thinking, who is this guy?
I say that when I look in the mirror every morning.
And LouAnne, I think I got in touch with you well over a year ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And started following some of your live streams on Instagram. You have a large following there. So, okay, do we want to talk about why should people be interested in C4AW and what does C4AW have to offer to the avian community?
Sure. So C4AW, basically, we're taking a lot of the guesswork out. Look, we're really trying to streamline information where the avian community could have a source, a source to come to that they can rely on. We've done the homework, right? So many of these businesses between Jason and I have had long-term relationships. We know the owners. And like Jason said, we need their great products. We need their small businesses to thrive so our birds can continue thriving. We have a network of people that are really positive, great, caring people that care less about profits and more about the birds' lives and improving the birds' lives. So that's what and I call it the dream team because it really is a dream team. I mean, these people are hand selected by Jason, myself, or someone in the collaborative. So you have a source. Basically, you have a resource to come to. All things about birds. It's all about supporting avian wellness.
And speaking about it being positive, Kimberly Perry just made this comment. I don't know if you guys can see it. Some communities are not positive like the collaborative you created. I love that you are about educating and not judging others. And that was the first C4AW event was in Long Island, correct?
Yes.
And that was probably one of the most common testimonials feedback that we heard. Because I will have no part of any organization that casts judgment. I mean, education is key.
Yes.
And we can positively punish the behavior of people searching for that information based on how we treat them. That, and what I saw at C4AW in Long Island, was a large group of the collaborative and the attendees working together. It was a very interactive group, and I was very proud to be a part of it.
Yes, thank you. We're proud that you are a part of this team. We really, this is all possible because of people like you, Lara, and everyone that's part of this collaborative. We thank you so much for saying yes and taking that chance with us. You know, I have a unique channel too on Instagram, and essentially I got the channel started a few years back, where again I wanted to share what life is like living with birds, because I thought to a lot of people it was really a mystery, you know. And I also, another motivation is I was hoping that Hannibal, we adopted Hannibal 6 years ago. We were hoping that if his family wanted to see him in a safe way, they had the opportunity to do that. And I'm so proud to say that they do. And they're so, so happy that Hannibal has landed in our home and has a loving home. So, you know, I've achieved that goal as well. But so what I was saying was about we talked about positivity, and I lost my train of thought. Where I was going with that.
It comes with keeping parrots.
Keeping parrots. Oh, so the channel. So I have this unique venue in a way, and this is what I started to do. And this years ago, and this is where really Lara and I started to connect. Is that, you know, in sharing lives with birds, all the tenets. Or, you know, whether it's behavior, training, health, nutrition, all comes into play when I hold my phone and take it with me throughout the day and night. I'm showing all these tenets. So naturally, I had a hunger to learn more, and Lara to me was the obvious choice to learn more from. And so I found you on Facebook and Instagram, and then we connected. And now I'm a member of the Parrot Project. So I'm able to share some of those great tips and you know, with my audience, and so they can connect with any member of the collaborative to learn more.
Yeah, great. So I'm sitting here as you guys are talking. There's several people in here that attended the C4AW event in November. Sorry, I'm thinking ahead. In Long Island. So, I mean, the testimonials are there. So before we get too much further into this, do we have the next C4AW event is scheduled?
Yes.
And that's in St. Charles, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. I think this will be my fourth or fifth time. I can't remember. Jason's had me there for numerous different things. But I'm super excited for the upcoming C4AW event, which is the second weekend in November. And I can't read those dates. I want to say
November 15th and 16th, Friday and Saturday.
Okay. And for more information, how do people find out about that?
C4AW.org.
And is that where they can register?
They can, yes. Pre-registration is required. It's really important to know that. It is a ticketed event. We have a long or a full day worth of seminars lined up for that Saturday.
Okay. And tell us what all it's going to include, because it's a 2-day event.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you want me to
if you could
go through a list? Sure.
Yes.
So we collaboration is our name, right? So this definitely capitalizes on that. So I'm the president of the Avicultural Society of Chicagoland, and Lara, we've brought you out to this event many times, and we were approached by the National Bird Show that holds the largest competitive bird show in the country, and to partner and hold our events simultaneously. So our expo with our vendors and all that sort of thing is also being held. So Friday, the vendor hall opens at, I believe, 1 p.m. in the afternoon until about 7 p.m. And so that is open to the public. And then
I'll have a booth there too.
Yep. Any C4AW partner that's there will have representation in that vendor hall, so you can come in and talk to everybody. We have a Friday night. It's in Chicago, so we can't not have pizza. So we have a Chicago pizza event Friday night for those who register, and you can, like LouAnne said, you can register for that at c4aw.org. And that'll be a meet and greet with the speakers. So if you want to come and have some one-on-one time with us, or just kind of hang out and have some fun, it's going to be a low-key Friday night evening with some amazing Chicago-style pizza. And there's details also at c4aw.org for where that is. Then on Saturday, Saturday's going to be a day. Every year I leave this event feeling both energized and exhausted because it is a lot. But we have seminars from 9 to 5, and then we take a dinner break, and then we have another session at 7 p.m. So really from 9 to 9, you have access to all kinds of stuff. So you have access to the seminars like Laura's, Bernie DeSalvo from Sugar Creek will be talking about enrichment. Bonnie Zimmerman will be there talking about conservation, as will Dr. Caroline Evstethian. Jennifer Kuna, sorry, it's Sunday morning.
I know.
And I'll be speaking, but so we have this
Deanna
really
Garrett's
interesting, Deanna will do, and she'll do a sprouting demo also at night. So we're going to do some different things, but we'll have seminars where you can come and learn and ask questions. And then at night, we're going to show the Indonesian Parrot Project documentary, which is beautiful, and everyone that owns a bird should definitely see this. And then we'll do some education stations where people can, move about the room and talk to each of the speakers and see some demos, firsthand. So, and then Sunday, there's another Jennifer Kuna from My Reading Pets will be hosting her own workshop at that same site. Perry Kindergarten. Yep. And so that's not our C4AW event, but you can register for that at her website as well. myreadingpets.com, right?
Yes.
So definitely a power-packed weekend. You definitely should come and just walk through the bird show. You will see some of the most gorgeous birds you will ever see. These breeders and exhibitors are just unparalleled. Every time I walk through, I'm just amazed by the diversity that I see. So you can walk through there and see some birds you probably may not have ever seen or
may not even know existed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then there's also a vendor hall. The vendor hall,
Mm-hmm.
And so not just C4AW businesses, but other businesses as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have access to all of that, but there'll be buying opportunities. So, we all love to shop for our birds, so that'll be available too.
Yeah, we've got some questions coming in, and I am very interactive with attendees, other presenters, as you saw at the last C4AW.
I was going to say, I've never noticed that.
These are people that are obviously trying to know and do better with the birds and their care.
Yeah.
So I like to get to know them. I remember at the last C4AW event, every new presentation, I was sitting at a different table, sitting down with people at a different table. So a couple of different people, I see Quentin said he may try to figure out how to make this one work.
We'd love to see you, Quentin.
It's a great networking opportunity in addition to the mass amounts of education. You have access to talk to these people. Reach out to Bonnie at Indonesian Parrot Project. Talk to her about, you know, she's a very approachable person. Everybody is. You know, there's going to be people there with tables for enrichment. Reach out and talk to them. I will be there. Jason, LouAnne.
Michelle from Royal Avian.
Yes, Michelle.
As
yes.
well, Deanna Garrett from China Fairy Products. I believe Gary, he's tentative. Gary from Tops Parrot Food. Certainly they'll have representation there, but let's see, who else are we missing? Texas Natural Freeze Dry is not able to make this one, but maybe the next one. That's Suzanne. Who am I forgetting?
No.
Well, I should say Graywood Manor is part of the collaborative. He's not able to make this event. I just don't want to forget anyone. Avian Fashions is part of our collaboratives as well. They're not able to make this event, but maybe the next one.
A Helping Wing.
A Helping Wing. They're going to be there.
Yeah.
They are?
Yes.
Oh, is this going to be a party?
Yeah.
I know. Jean and John, they haven't registered yet, but they told me they're coming.
Yeah. So several people are commenting. Will this be live streamed?
Oh, yes. We just announced that we're going to offer a webinar live stream. That also requires pre-registration, and you can register on C4AW.org as well. So yes.
And it'll be set up the same way we did the New York event, where people will register, and then will be part of a special group where they'll see the exclusive content from the event.
Yes. And Chyla from Wacky Wings should be there as well. I know I'm probably forgetting someone else, but just wanted to mention the collaborative. So yeah, so you know, I want to share something. Melanie, who we all know, Melanie is part of the Parrot Project. She also came to our New York event. Lara, she came to one of your recent workshops. Anyway, she mentioned at the last event, I think she said it so well, in that, you know, not only do you get a chance to network and connect with like-minded people, positive people that, you know, share something in common, which is pretty unique in this universe for us, for this little community, right? But you will be able to stay connected with them. You're networking, you know, just past that event. Even with the webinar, you're all going to be able to see each other in the Facebook private group afterwards. So it doesn't just end there. This is about building a community that's positive and supportive of each other. And, you know, I am not shy. You know, I won't, I will admit, I'm still learning today. There's always something new to learn here. And like Jason always says, you know, sharing lives with birds is like a never ending science experiment, right? And personally, I think that's something what I really love about it. It's just always constantly changing. You got to stay fresh with the information, and whether it's training or nutrition,
there's always something new coming out.
Yeah.
Which is key in attending and supporting events like this. You heard of something new we haven't heard about? What is it? Who is it? Where is it? Let's get this information out there.
Yeah.
So Adrian is asking if C4AW has any intention of being at Parrot Festival.
Okay, I'm not sure. I know Jason's not able to make it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna try to make it. And honestly, yeah, it's all gonna come down to finances for me and the time.
Sure.
We're really stretched here with what we're doing with C4AW. I want to be there. I really want to be there. So I'll know more at the end of the month if I can make it.
Yeah, I'll be down at Parrot Festival just in case for whatever C4AW needs. Eva says something, if you ever stop learning, you can be certain you've died.
Yeah, 6 feet under. I say you're 6 feet under. You're done. You know, also, you know, there's a lot of myths that keep, you know, surfacing and resurfacing. So it's another thing that I feel that as a collaborative, we're helping to, you know, debunk those myths. And Jason plays and Lara plays a big part in that. there is science to this, but not everything is scientifically proven when it comes to the avian universe, But, people start to believe what they read because someone posts something on Facebook. And, so that's become part of, we've kind of taken on that job too as a collaborative.
Sure.
And that's originally how I started the nutrition group, the Avian Raw Whole Food Nutrition group on Facebook. Was I was sick of the drama, and I just heard over half the people that are watching this chuckle because they've all had to deal with this. But these people who are just so negative and are not willing to discuss, right? They listen to speak. They wait. That doesn't work. And so when I started my group, I said this group's going to be drama free, and we've done a really good job at that. I'm not sure how. But we're over 10,000 members now, strong, and it's just incredible that it's stayed as positive as it has. But the myth, the number of myths that are out there, and I get them all the time. Someone just asked me, "Oh, someone told me in another group that cauliflower was dangerous for birds." No, it's not. Cauliflower is just fine. Mealworms are going to steal all your birds' calcium and kill them. We don't look at, you can't look at nutrition in a micromanaged way. You need to look at it as holistic. And that's why we have C4AW, because we don't want to look at this is just a behavior issue or this is just a nutrition issue. These things all work together to fuel that organism, right, and keep it healthy. And so we have to zoom out and look at big picture things and include all those ingredients so that you have a healthy bird.
And that's the reason I created the Parrot Project, because there's so much misinformation out there.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to guide people, give people a place to go that want to learn more about behavior and training through using the science of behavior. This is no guesswork. This is the science of behavior. There's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of old information. So those that are serious, that's why I've created the Parrot Project. And here's another thing that I find extremely important. Somebody asked me something outside of behavior and training, and people do ask me information in the Parrot Project on nutrition. And I'm like, I don't want to do your bird a disservice by giving information that I'm not sure is correct. I guide them to you, Jason. I collaborate with you on nutrition. I need to know better and do better through implementing nutrition, and you do that through your Team Thrive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, on that topic, here's another example of how this collaborative have really evolved into something that is just incredible to me. So when Jason and I first started working together, we realized there's certain gaps when it comes to having easy access to the best raw whole food nutrition. So because we've had this dream team to go to, we actually co-formulated new products to make it easy for everyone to feed raw whole foods. Like, for example, from China Prairie, we have Thrive Exotic Blend. I just want to give some examples, Lara, because what we realized, our community was reaching out. They were overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed just a year ago, not knowing where to begin. I wanted to do everything that Jason was doing, but to get to that point was overwhelming for me to even think about. So this is why we came out with Thrive, because it's easy. It's soak and serve. You soak this overnight, you serve the next day.
And I wanted it to be easy for myself, because I was going to 3 different markets trying to pull all those ingredients together in order to give my birds the most diverse diet I possibly could. And it wasn't easy. So I have a clue as to what I'm doing. I mean, I'm not perfect. I never will be, but at least I know like the things that I can feed. But then there's people who don't. Yeah. And I see it on my group all the time. And so, we're just trying to be as helpful as possible and corral all of that together and thankfully we've got these partners who are practically asking us to help
they're
instead
willing.
of us asking us.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so empowering. Larry, you talk about empowerment all the time. It is so empowering when you get these great people together, working together for the benefit of birds. There's no stopping us. I mean, it's really come together nicely, and we've only just begun.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I just have a couple of snapshots from the last event. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of people not knowing each other, but knowing each other through the different groups and the different services that we offer, coming together, finally being able to get to sit down and know each other, talk to each other, and bring up questions. And for anybody watching this live stream today, if you have questions for myself, for Jason, for LouAnne, in regards to C4AW event or C4AW period, please go ahead and post them. I'm sitting here watching the comments, making sure things are addressed. Okay, Christy asks a question. I'm not exactly sure. Christy is new to the Parrot Project as well. She wants to know, and is this in regards to nutrition? Quick, Christy, are there options for multi-sized bird homes? I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Absolutely. Sure there is. So anything that we share in terms of avian nutrition and our philosophy of raw whole food could be fed to all parrots and most birds, toucans, and there's some exceptions. But if she has parrots and different size parrots, yes, we have options for all size parrots. And in fact, if I could just mention something that, again, another evolution of this collaborative. Once we started to educate about raw whole foods and all the ingredients, diversity is key when it comes to raw whole foods. There's no such thing as all the nutrition for our bird in one little kibble or one bag of food. It's not realistic. It's not happening. That's another topic for another day. But raw whole food diversity is key. Our community told us it was a little bit still overwhelming. They needed a better solution. They didn't want to buy so much in bulk, smaller quantities. So Jason and we didn't plan to do this, but we now are consolidating. We actually have smaller packages that are made just for us. Like, for example, Top's Parrot Food, this organic dream mix is available and is manufactured just for us in 1 pound packages. Anyways, we put everything together that you need in one box delivered to your door. That's what we're doing now. We didn't plan to do it, but the community said they needed that.
Yeah, I did not need a 13th job, but
I didn't need one either.
the need was there because we kept hearing from people like, well, I only have this one little bird. I can't order a 5 pound bag of this, or shipping from all these different vendors is really taxing me. So we just talked about like how could we consolidate this as simply as possible for us and for them. So our vendors have been very, very good helping us do this.
It's just another example of what this collaborative does. When there's a problem that's presented to us more than once, and it starts to become a theme, we create solutions together because we have all this brain power, these experts that are willing to do it. And it's just an example of what we've evolved to do. I mean, we are now consolidators shipping food in a box so it's easier and it's convenient and it's less expensive to feed raw whole foods. And you can find out more on C4AW.org. We have actually an online store. We didn't plan to do all this, but it's available for those that want it.
Yeah, exactly. And what's important to me is I am so busy focusing on the work that I do here, which involves the science behind behavior and training. We have several animals here, 5 parrots. 5 parrots alone is a lot of work. And I don't necessarily have a lot of time to do the research on nutrition. That's why I go to the people, Jason, that understands the science behind the nutrition.
Yeah.
Jason is my go-to.
And
I
have to say, you're my go-to for behavior and training, right?
Yes.
And part of my graduate work in biology was I had a semester-long intensive training course on positive reinforcement. It was, I mean, I was training a sea lion, for crying out loud. It was intense. But I would still go to you because I feel like you have the experience and the know-how, and you can feel your way through situations better than I could. So, I'm okay, but I go to you because I can rely on you and trust you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I love the way you teach. It's such a positive way. I've learned so much. I would not have been able to do what I've done with this entire flock here at home if it wasn't for your coaching. I'm still learning today, and I will keep learning.
Thank you. And that's one of the reasons I brought it. There's numerous reasons, but one of the reasons we brought in Sunshine.
Yeah.
The 38-year-old lesser sulfur crested cockatoo surrendered to best friends over 18 years ago. Okay, so 18 years in a shelter. This bird is anything but easy, whatever easy means. I don't, when I brought him in, I had no idea what some of these behaviors meant. These behaviors are individualized to this specific bird, his history of reinforcement. I don't know what I didn't know. I do know now what the fast head bobbing means after, and I've learned that through teaching him, training him, watching his behavior. When does he do it? When doesn't he do it? And how can I share this with the members of the Parrot Project to show, yeah, I'm going to get nailed the first chance this bird can nail me. And I have, thank God, thank the science behind the work that I'm doing. I have yet to be bit by Sunshine, and I don't want to be bit because that bite serves a purpose for that animal. It's doing it for a reason. Do you understand? So that's my bit about Sunshine, and he's we like with him in the Parrot Project, and as of right now, he's letting me trim his nails.
All right.
So,
that's awesome.
Anyways, that's my little blurb about behavior. C4AW. So they can go to the website and register.
Yes.
It's a 2+ day event, I say, because it involves dinner.
Yeah.
And in Long Island, you did a long day on Saturday. I believe it was 9 to 9 as well.
Yeah.
And the information and the weekend was not overwhelming. It flowed nicely. We finished the first night with Dr. Caroline. I call her Dr. Caroline because I can't pronounce her last name. Her presentation and conservation and the work she was doing, which was amazing. Yeah. It was a real eye-opener. And what's really interesting about the end of everybody's presentations is there's networking opportunity for everybody to come back together and discuss that topic.
So thanks to Caroline, we learned about the birds and the bees.
Literally, though.
Yeah, I know.
And she just got back recently from South Africa, so I'm sure we'll hear some really new information that no one else has.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So Alicia Webb says, will you guys talk about your different offerings, such as Laura in the Parrot Project and Jason with Team Thrive? Well, Jason, you want to go in more about Team Thrive? LouAnne, do you want to talk more about
the Parrot Project?
Parrot Project. No, but I'm really interested in your monthly subscription to your food services.
Oh, okay, great. So Jason, I'm going to talk a little bit about Team Thrive.
Yeah, Team Thrive is set up much in the same way as the Parrot Project, but it's a nutrition focus. and I have courses that we run consistently throughout. So we finished earlier this year, over the summer, I think we finished Avian Nutrition 101, which I think was 8 or 9 segments, 8 or 9 classes, and you can watch those at any time on our group. And we tackled things like fats and the science behind fats and the science behind proteins and the science behind carbohydrates and what all those things mean. And now we're in Avian Nutrition 102, which is learning about plants and why we eat them as food. So, or I should say birds as well, eating as food. So, last week we talked about roots and what roots do for plants, and then we talked about why we eat, why there's roots, why there's root vegetables, and what those can provide for you and your birds. So, Team Thrive is an annual subscription, and you get access to all of that, including one-on-one questioning with me.
Yeah, and I'll share a little bit about Team Thrive too. I of course have been a member since he started Team Thrive, and what I really loved about it is I felt that I had one-on-one access to a consultant. Honestly, that's how I felt. I had a lot of questions, and he's always been gracious and very kind to answer them, whether it was in a private forum or public forum. Of course, public, it's a closed group, we're able to share and learn from each other, but the nutrition courses are really interesting. If you're into science and biology, it's just really, to me, it's fascinating to learn the science behind, the nutrition. So.
Thank you.
You explain it very well, Jason. You open people's eyes. I mean, you don't explain it in a way where it's overwhelming. It's very eye-opening, very understandable to everybody, and then you show the proof and the science behind it, which is key and important. Okay. Because there's a couple new people, there's at least one new person in the collaborative that I am looking forward to meeting, Jennifer Kuna.
Jennifer Kuna, yeah.
You want to talk about her work?
Sure. So Jennifer Kuna, she's myreadingpets.com. You can find out more about her on her website and also her Facebook page, My Reading Pets. So Jennifer Kuna teaches birds to read, believe it or not. Teaches birds to read. And the way I look at it, I'm learning. I am in the very early stages of learning what she does. It integrates very well to everything that we're about at the collaborative. It gives us another way to spend time with our birds, enriching their lives. So she starts off really simple in working on a way to communicate with the birds, teaching them the difference between yes and no, giving the animals choice in the matter. Once they learn yes and no, you can actually ask them questions and they can determine the outcome of that, that time together. It's really cool stuff. She starts out, it's very easy to learn and implement. It's all about enrichment. It's about enriching your lives with your birds and improving communication with your birds. So I encourage you to check her out. She's an incredible person. I can't wait, Lara, for you to meet, both of you to meet in person.
Yeah, because isn't she a psychologist?
She's an attorney. She's
okay.
An attorney by trade, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to her, understanding what she's doing, and seeing it work, because I've heard a lot of great stuff about her. There's some questions on here, and I'm trying to keep up with them. Go ahead.
I will just share her workshop. She's got a full day workshop. Here's another reason to come to Chicago or St. Charles, Illinois, right?
Yeah, somebody was asking if she's presenting on Saturday. She's not.
No, she's presenting on Saturday.
Okay.
So you're going to get a piece of, you're going to get a presentation Saturday, yes. But Sunday, she's also offering, here's another reason to come, a full day workshop. It's a separate registration. Go to her website. You can find out more information. But she's kind enough to offer our C4AW supporters a discount of 10%. Just use the discount code of C4AW, okay, when you're registering.
Okay.
Definitely check it out. It's a parrot kindergarten. So you're going to learn how to advance and train and enrich the lives of your birds through communication.
Okay.
And actually, someday you can teach your birds to read if you stick with the course. It's incredible.
Okay. Got a question for Jason from Melanie Jones. I'm a registered dietitian, so I am knowledgeable about the science behind food for humans. How is it different for the avian world, or is it?
That's a tough question because the research, there's not a lot of research on bird nutrition. Part of the problem is the assumption that all birds can eat the same things, and we have hundreds of different species that we're feeding. So that's a hard question to answer. We have to extrapolate the data that we learn about human nutrition and extrapolate that to what we know about birds. And a lot of nutrition studies are also done using animal subjects anyway, even though they're usually mammal. But it is a hard thing to do because we don't have a lot of research on avian nutrition. So,
Jason, if somebody wants to read some articles you have on nutrition, how can they find that?
so I have posted articles on my website, so they can go to drcrean.com, drcrean.com. I have some things posted there. I also have a nutrition page at beaksbirdhouse.com, which has, for example, my toucan feeding guide, my softbill feeding guide, where
My Bible.
it's funny because I see people, taking pictures of themselves at the store, and that's their list. Because we color coded all the produce, and what's good and what's just okay, things like that. And so we're glad that people are getting some use out of that. But both of those websites, drcrean.com or beaksbirdhouse.com, I have information on both of those sites.
Yeah. And if you go to C4AW.org, there's links to those websites. If you
Yeah.
just scroll down, we try to consolidate all this into one website just to make it easier for everybody. So if you don't remember all the websites, just go to C4AW.org and you'll see it all there.
Okay.
And, I would love to add this to, in terms of Parrots R Us on Instagram, Lara, I do my best to try to take all this information that I've learned from the experts, from all of you, and I show day-to-day application of it all as much as I can.
Yes, you do.
A lot in my stories. So if you're interested to get that kind of behind-the-scenes, insight, join me on Parrots R Us on Instagram and connect with me there. Ask me questions. You can send me private messages. I mean, I try to be very approachable and available for you. It might take me a little while to get back to you, but if you're curious about that, you want to see some of it, I share a lot. I share as much as I can.
Yes, you do. You're very interactive, engaging with your followers on Instagram. You have a very dedicated following.
Yes, they are.
Awesome. You're often showing examples of different aspects of living with birds, which is
the bad and the ugly.
Yeah. That's the neat thing about live streaming, and that's why I love it, is because it shows your mistakes. There's no editing, because when we edit out our mistakes, it makes the individual think they can't do it because they're making them. So I think it's extremely important when I live stream. What's really cool is I will even say, bam, I just made a mistake. And a lot of times people say, I didn't even see it. And I'm like, those are the fine details we need to be paying attention to.
Absolutely. I love that. I love watching that. I can't say enough about the live stream. When you can watch you in action and then you do label what's good and what's not so good, it's so much easier to learn that way. It's real time. The Parrot Project, you got to go. You got to please, encourage you. If you're having difficulty, guys, with behavior, you have a question, whether it's undesirable behavior, you just please check her out, the Parrot Project. You will be so glad that you did. It's such an awesome group, and just the application is so easy to learn.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Even after over 30 years experience with birds, I'm still learning something.
Yeah, the Parrot Project is going on. I don't remember how many years, if it's going to be 4 years old this Christmas Eve or 5. I can't remember. We're 175 members strong. It's an annual subscription where I go into detail about the science behind animal behavior and training. We do focus on enrichment through empowering animals. Somebody just asked to post. We've got some questions. Let's focus on these questions and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, sure.
Laura Joseph, can you post the links to the different sites on the Animal Behavior Center site, please? Are you talking about the links to the collaboration, how to get in touch with everybody? Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, C4AW.org. It's all there.
Okay, then just go to C4AW.org.
We did all the work. We did all the work, so you guys don't have to. It's all there. Just spend a little time on the website. You'll see all the links. You just touch all the icons. It'll bring you right to the website, including the Animal Behavior Center.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. Yeah. We've got some questions, and let's wrap it up. Carl has a question for LouAnne and Kramer. Have you considered making a YouTube channel where you can upload these live streams to a channel to reach even more people?
I do have a YouTube channel, Parrots Are Us. To be honest, I don't spend a lot of time there. It does come down to time. And the community on YouTube, honestly, is much different than the community on Instagram.
Very well put.
Right? So, I love Instagram. The community is so supportive and positive. It really is such a nice community. So yes, I do have that, but it comes down to time and resources. My focus is on reaching the audience to Instagram or Facebook.
Okay. We've got about 3 minutes before this live stream needs to end. And there's a reason behind that. So let's join us in Chicago, in St. Charles, Illinois, the second weekend in November for the next C4AW event. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Like I said, it's a collaboration of groups of people in organizations that I'm very proud to be a part of. And I thank you guys for letting me be a part of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can register at C4AW.org. You want to find out more information about the work, the awesome work that LouAnne is doing, follow her on Instagram at Parrots Are Us. You want to find out more of the awesome scientific work that Dr. Jason Crean is doing. You can reach out to him and join his group, Avian Raw Whole Food Nutrition, in addition to Team Thrive. Okay. Am I missing anything?
Just a couple hours of sleep.
Yeah. So I'll wrap up by just saying some of the things I do at the end of our presentations. For more about the information I do here at the Animal Behavior Center, International Educational Center, where you can join our online learning membership program, level 1 for companion animals, level 2 for organizations and people thinking about or wanting to do more in the field of the science of behavior with animals. We also have our species-specific online learning, which you've heard people mention the Parrot Project, the Pig Project, the Snow Project, the Deaf Dog Project. Our referral program, you want to earn a free online behavior consultation with me. For every 5 people that you send that sign up through our services, I keep a file on you and you earn a free online consultation. Join us in St. Charles for the next C4AW event. I have a lot more than this on my schedule, but it's the only ones I've uploaded. I will see you guys next September 2020 out at Best Friends Animal Society in Kanab, Utah for the next PPG, Pet Professional Guild Summit and Seminar. And our zoo workshop was a huge hit, sold out immediately. So we have 2 more. I will be announcing them to the memberships and the projects this week, and registration will be open next weekend. And I have no doubt they will both sell out immediately. Okay, got that all done. All right, everybody, thank you for attending another episode of Coffee with the Critters. Thank you, Jason and LouAnne.
Thank you.
Bye.